Hi everyone, welcome. Let's start with a thought. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. In machine learning, that shift in perspective is powerful. Today, we are diving into gradient descent, a method that helps us learn, adapt, and improve our models step by step. So, let's begin this exciting journey together. Now that we are set to explore gradient descent, here's a quick look at the topics we will cover today. We will start with the basics, what it is and why it's used, then move through cost functions, graphs, and learning rates. By the end, we will see how gradient descent helps us optimize both the slope and intercept of a model. Let's walk through each concept step by step. Let's begin with the first topic, what is gradient descent? Gradient descent is an optimization algorithm used to minimize the cost function like RMSE or MSE by updating the model parameters, weight and bias step by step. It tells us how to change the model to make better predictions by moving in the direction of the steepest decrease in error. Let's understand what this means in a clearer way. Gradient descent is like a smart guide that helps our machine learning model become more accurate. It works by reducing the error between what the model predicts and what the actual results are. We measure this error using something called a cost function, like MSE, mean squared error, which tells us how wrong our model's prediction are. So imagine the model is standing on a hill of errors and wants to find the lowest point. It slowly walks downhill step by step, always moving toward the place where the error is smallest. That's how gradient descent helps a model learn and improve. Next topic is why do we use gradient descent in linear regression? We want to find the best fit line, written as y hat is equal to wx plus b, that predicts values as accurately as possible. To do that, we need to figure out the best values for w and b that reduce the error between predicted and actual values. Gradient descent helps us find these values by minimizing that error step by step. Okay, so our next topic is cost function. To improve predictions, our model needs to know how wrong it is, and that's where the cost function comes in. We often use mean squared error, which measures the average squared difference between actual and predicted values. The goal of gradient descent is to adjust the model so this error becomes as small as possible. To understand this better, let's move on to the next topic, cost function curve. This graph shows how the cost function changes as we adjust the parameter theta. As you know, we use two parameters in linear regression, weight and bias. But here, for now, we will understand it using just one parameter. So the curve is shaped like a bowl called a parabola, and the lowest point represents the minimum error. Our goal in gradient descent is to reach that bottom point by taking steps downhill, meaning we keep changing theta to reduce the cost. The closer we get to the center, the better our predictions become. Next, we will see the graph when we change both parameters, 3D surface of cost function. This 3D graph shows how the cost changes with different values of theta 0 and theta 1, which represent bias and weight in our model. The surface looks like a bowl, and our goal is to reach the lowest point at the center, where the cost is minimal. Gradient descent helps us find that lowest point by adjusting theta 0 and theta 1 step by step. Just like sliding down the surface toward the center, the algorithm keeps moving in the direction that reduces the cost. This visual helps us understand how the model learns and improves predictions. Let's move to the next topic, contour plot. We just saw the 3D graph of the cost function, which looks like a bowl and shows how the cost changes with different values of the parameters. But sometimes it's hard to clearly see the path of gradient descent in 3D. So now we will use a contour plot, which is just a top-down view of that same 3D graph. It makes it easier to understand how the parameters move step by step toward the lowest cost. This is a contour plot, a top-down view of the 3D cost surface we just saw. Each oval line shows a level of constant cost. The closer we get to the center, the lower the error. Gradient descent helps us move through these contour levels step by step, always heading toward the center, where cost is minimum. It's like navigating a map to reach the lowest point of the valley. I hope you understood it well. If you have any doubt, you can ask me later in the comments. Okay? Let's move to our next topic, gradient descent on cost function. So here, this graph shows on how gradient descent learns step by step. We start from the top of the curve with high error. At each red dot, the algorithm updates the parameter theta and moves downward toward lower cost. It keeps sliding down the curve until it reaches the bottom, where the error is smallest and predictions are most accurate. So after this, now we will understand learning rate comparisons. This graph shows how gradient descent moves along the cost curve for different learning rates. Each line with dots shows the path the algorithm takes to reach the lowest error. With small learning rates like 0.01 or zero point 0.1, it takes tiny steps and slowly reaches the minimum. With larger learning rates like zero point 0.5 and 1.0, the steps are bigger, but too big can cause the algorithm to miss the minimum or bounce around it. This flow helps us see why choosing a proper learning rate is key to training a stable and accurate model. So now we will learn gradient descent to update only m, slope. This focuses on what happens when we use gradient descent to update only the slope in our model while keeping the intercept fixed. We are working with the equation y hat is equal to mx plus b, a simple line. Gradient descent helps us reduce the error in prediction by adjusting m step by step. To do that, we use the formula m is equal to m minus alpha del loss by del m. Here, alpha is the learning rate, how big the step is. Del loss by del m tells us the direction, and steepness, basically how much the error changes when we tweak m. We calculate this using del loss by del n is equal to minus 2 by n sigma of xi bracket yi minus y hat I. This means we look at each data point, multiply the error by the input value x, then sum it all up. The result tells us how to update m to make our predictions more accurate. By repeating this step, the model gradually learns the best slope to fit the data. Let's take a practical example to understand how gradient descent updates the slope m. We are using the equation y hat is equal to mx plus c. And here we have set m is equal to 4 and b is equal to 0. And our learning rate alpha is equal to 0.01. We have data for the number of rooms x and house prices in lakhs y. Based on that, we calculate y hat using 4x y minus y hat to find the error, and then x y minus y hat to help calculate the gradient descent. When we add up all the values of x, y minus y hat, we get 84. Using the formula for updating m, the new slope becomes 4.56. This means our model is learning. The slope changed from 4 to 4.56 to improve predictions. By repeating this process, we keep moving closer to the best fit line. Now that we have seen how gradient descent updates the slope m, let's look at what happens when we update only the intercept b, keeping m is equal to 4 fixed. We use the formula b is equal to b minus alpha del loss by del db. To calculate del loss by del b, we use this formula. This tells us how much the error changes with respect to b. Let's apply this to an example. We are using the same house price data. For x is equal to 1, 2, 3, we calculate predicted values as y hat is equal to 4x, since m is equal to 4 and b is equal to 0. Then we compute the difference y minus y hat, which shows how far off the predictions are. For x is equal to 1, 10 minus 4 is 6. For x is equals to 2, 20 minus 8 is 12. For x is equals to 3, 30 minus 12 is 18. Now add these errors. 6 plus 12 plus 18 is equal to 36. Using the formula del loss by del b, now update b is equal to 0.24. So after this update, the intercept changes from 0 to 0.24. This helps shift our line upward slightly to reduce the error and improve predictions. By repeating this process, we keep refining B to make our model more accurate. I hope you understand both the cases. Now let's move to our next topic, gradient descent for both M and B together. Now that we have seen how gradient descent updates M and B individually, let's understand what happens when we update both together, which is how it's done in real model training. We are still working with our simple linear equation y hat is equal to mx plus b. To improve predictions, we want to find the best values for both m and b that minimize the error. We use two update formulas at once. For slope m, we use this, and for intercept b, we use this. From our earlier example, sigma x y minus y hat is equal to 84, sigma y minus y hat is equal to 36, n is equal to 3, alpha is 0.01, and initial m and b are 4 and 0. Now compute the updates. So our new slope is 4.56 and new intercept is 0.24. By updating both parameters, the model adjusts its line in two ways. It tilts by changing the slope and it shifts vertically by changing the intercept. This double update helps the model learn more efficiently and gives us better predictions with each step. The process continues until we reach the lowest error on the cost curve. After updating both slope and intercept, a new prediction equation becomes y hat is equal to 4.56x plus 0.24. This model now makes better predictions compared to the earlier one. But the learning doesn't stop here. We keep repeating this process for many more steps until the error becomes as small as possible. And that's a wrap up on gradient descent. We explored why we use it, how it works with most cost functions, and saw step by step updates for both slope and intercept. With visuals and examples, we saw how the model learns to predict better by reducing error. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, do like, share, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. See you in the next video.